I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are.
Let them hear me. Hey, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? All right, looks okay. I'm also parallelly checking my audio. Looks fine for now. I'm also parallelly checking my audio. Looks fine for now. Perfect. All right, before we start doing our stuff, so let me post my live information, the information about this live session on my social network.
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to let it to drift away.
All right, I think all set to start the stream now. Um, I have the virtual machine ready with me. So before I start sharing my screen, I wish to verify the VM settings. Give me a second. I will start sharing my screen very soon.
I'm falling up, I'm falling down from the sky and from the ground. I burn but just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting numb, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down from the sky and from the ground. I burn but just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen. You must have seen the stream title. We are actually planning to solve a malware analysis challenge today. I already chose which one I'm going to pick. I mean, I decided which one I'm going to pick. It's going to be an interesting malware analysis challenge, I guess. To be honest with you, I have never solved this challenge before, so this is the first time I'm just start solving this over the stream. I don't know how many streams it's gonna take, and also like I did my previous stream, I'm parallelly going to record the stream. I'm just making create recordings during the live stream, so that I'll be able to post those videos, the crispy videos, separately on my YouTube channel. That's the plan. Okay, maybe I will open. I will log into. Yes, session is alive. Sherlock So I'm planning to solve a Sherlock called Malware Mod Maker. Oh, I think it is about to retire, so I cannot make this particular Sherlock on this stream. So this is get to retire. So I'm only allowed to make videos on the retired contents of Hack the Box. So the Malware mod maker, it is yet to retire, so I cannot make its content on this video. Maybe what we can do, can we do something else? Can we do any other challenge? I'm not positive what to do next. I said we are going to do some malware analysis challenge, right? How about taking some try hack me challenge? Try hack me offers a lot of simple malware analysis challenges, and also they have some walkthrough rooms that teaches you the malware analysis. So it's a beginner friendly platform. So let me stop sharing my screen as I need to log in this platform. Okay. Now I logged in the TryHackMe platform. I'm in the walkthrough section of TryHackMe, and I'm just making my search. I'm searching for malware related challenges. So it's not a challenge, it is actually a walkthrough. So there will be more theory in this. So if you want to learn the basics, then this is the way. Since it is a beginner friendly, it's gonna teach you the basics so you can strengthen your basics before you start solving some advanced challenges. And that's the advised thing. I already solved few of the things, but what can I do? Can I pick any new walkthrough, then start doing it? There are some challenges as well. If you see, I think these are all the challenges. The sandbox evasion, I knew it's quite difficult. It's a hard category challenge in TryHackMe. Some tool specific rooms. Windows internals, producing Windows internals. I already made a couple of videos, I think few years back, on this topic. I'm muting my microphone as I'm getting a call. Okay, I'm gonna pick one very soon. Let's see. I'm picking from the first page. How about that? Maybe let's start with some theory, some basic static analysis. Why don't we do this one? Because this is the beginning point. So as a beginner, let's cover some theory first before we start solving the malware, the hard malware challenges in future streams. All right, I think that makes sense. It's going to be a theory session, so learn with me. Okay, basic static analysis is the first room we should solve. Then we can go to advanced static analysis, then the dynamic analysis, basic one, and dynamic analysis, advanced one. I think there will be a room. Advanced dynamic analysis. Yeah, this one, dynamic analysis debugging. So what to do now? Let's start with the basic analysis. First of all, I'm just telling briefly what is static and dynamic analysis in the malware analysis part. Static analysis is all about, malware analysis is actually the concept of assessing a binary file. It is not necessarily a binary, but any executable or any sensitive file that triggers some background activity. So when you up against such files, it is quite difficult to understand the file. By just seeing in your bare eyes whether the file is nefarious or it is innocuous. So it is a quite difficult decision to make. So that is where the malware analysis part comes in. There are two categories, there are two ways in malware analysis: static analysis and dynamic analysis. Static analysis means, I think better I can start recording it as a video before I start explaining all the things. All right, I'll do one thing. I'll hit the start recording button, and let me go here. Yeah, I'll hit the start recording button. Hey there, my name is Permal Jagan, and I'm doing well. Hope you also doing well. And today we are going to learn some malware analysis, and it's gonna be a walkthrough kind of thing. I'm not gonna take a malware analysis challenge. Maybe we will be doing that in a separate stream, in an upcoming stream. But before that, it's essential to understand the basics, the fundamentals of malware analysis. So that is why I thought to choose a couple of try hack me rooms and solve them. It is not necessarily a challenge, but it is kind of a walkthrough. It's going to teach you some basic theories or some concepts, some tools for the malware analysis. So without further ado, let's start. Now you are seeing the screen. It is a try hack me platform. It's a beginner friendly platform, to be honest. The platform that teaches cybersecurity, be it red teaming, be it blue teaming, any kind of thing related to cybersecurity. You can find some source material, some resources from this try hack me platform. It is not completely free. There is also a paid part, but as a free user you can access certain resources. I think as a beginner it is quite fine to start your learning. Okay, now as I committed, as I mentioned in the stream title, I'm going to do some malware analysis, and it's going to be some theory. We are going to strengthen our fundamentals by doing some theory in try hack me. So let's go through that. I chose walkthrough part in TryHackMe platform, and I did search for the term malware. And now let me do one thing. I will just pick a couple of rooms from this part. So you can see the multiple rooms. In TryHackMe platform, the room is a term for a particular exercise. So there are certain rooms here, but I wish to go with the basic static analysis, then advanced static analysis, followed by a dynamic analysis, basic dynamic analysis, and followed by the advanced dynamic analysis. Well, when you hear the static analysis and dynamic analysis as a beginner, you might not have any idea, but let me tell you briefly. Malware analysis, first of all, is all about assessing an executable. It is not necessarily a exe file. It could be any file that does some command execution, some sort of changes on your operating system. So that kind of files, we call it as an executable. And malware analysis is all about examining an unknown executable file, because if it is doing a nefarious thing, a harmful things, then you cannot execute that directly on your system, right? So that is where the malware analysis part comes in, because it actually helps us to assess the file without executing it or executing it in a controlled environment. And that's where this static and dynamic analysis part comes in. Static analysis is all about assessing a file without executing, without triggering it. And there are certain tools to do that. I will tell you what are all those tools. Then dynamic analysis is all about executing a malware or a file, executable file, in a controlled environment. So when you execute them, you can make sure that infection is not spreading to your host machine or any other adjacent machines. And that's the beauty of the dynamic analysis. There are certain sandbox, or you can build your own sandbox to do dynamic analysis. All right, now without wasting time, let's get into this basic static analysis. So I'll make sure every recording of mine is around 20 minutes, so that is actually the limit. Now let's go and read through this. All right, so it's a basic static analysis and there are some prerequisites. So before we start doing this room, they are advising us to understand the basic malware analysis and some x86 assembly language and the architecture. So they asked us to learn all these things. I already made a couple of videos about x86, so that is fine for now. Now, the learning objective. The lab setup for malware analysis, searching for strings in a malware, fingerprinting malware through hashes, signature-based detection mechanisms, extracting useful information from PE header. So I will try to explain what are all these things in a moment, but let's get in. Now, let's go and start this lab setup. I guess, yes, we are in a TryHackMe folder now. Let me create a folder for maybe a malware analysis. So inside malware analysis, I create a directory called static. So inside static, I'm gonna put all the static analysis related things. Let me create a tmux session so that I won't be losing my session when I'm closing it accidentally. Okay, if I close it accidentally. Now I need to start this machine, because to solve this challenge, we need to start a machine separately. Fine. Now let me go and connect to the VPN of TryHackMe. Come on. PHM. I think I don't have that VPN file yet. So what I can do, maybe I'll duplicate this tab. I will go and download the VPN config. View profile. where to download this VPN file? Manage account. VM VPN settings. Yes, here. Okay. I think this is the nearest region. This is my region, in fact. So let me start downloading this. I'll create a folder for TryHackMe. I'm just putting this VPN file in that. Okay, now I have downloaded the VPN file. I'm good to go and start connecting the VPN. Sudo open VPN. TryHackMe EP, that VPN file name. Alright, the initialization sequence completed. That means the VPN session established. So let me name this session as OpenVPN. Moving to the next one. When I see the interface details, I could see the IP address is taken, and I'm also showing the IP address here in my TMS. Fine. I connected to this particular room, and you can see the machine IP address. Okay. I also got the machine IP and credentials. Maybe I can use Remina to connect them in RDP. Okay, first of all, before I start doing it, let's go through this lab setup. I exit from the split screen. I just opened it in a separate screen. Okay, before analyzing malware, one must understand that malware is often destructive. This means that when malware is being analyzed, there is a high chance of damaging the environment in which it is being analyzed. This damage can be permanent, and it might take more effort to get rid of the damage than the effort to analyze the malware. So that's the main thing for setting up a lab for the malware analysis challenges. And here is the topic of virtual machine. A lab setup of malware analysis requires the ability to save the state of the machine. Yes, so it is basically an isolated virtual machine, a guest VM of your choice. Then you need to make sure you are having a fresh snapshot of that guest VM, so that whenever you execute a malware inside the guest, once it is done, probably you can revoke it to the fresh state. So that is the necessity of having the snapshot ability in your hypervisor. The machine thus prepared with all the required tools installed. After analyzing malware in the machine, it is restored. Yes, that's what I just mentioned. Virtual machines provide an ideal medium for malware analysis, and you can either use VirtualBox or VMware Workstation. And for the personal use, now the VMware Workstation is available. I'm also using VMware Workstation, and it works quite good for me. These applications can create snapshots. Yes, that's what they say. Created a fresh virtual machine with a new OS install. Set up the machine by installing all the required analysis tools in it. Take a snapshot of the machine. Copy, download malware samples inside the VM. Okay. So here actually they are giving how to set the machine up and take a snapshot, copying the malware into VM, then reverting back to the original state. So all these things. Okay. Now, when you have decided to do a malware analysis or the malware analysis set up, then how you can set up, which VM you can prefer. And TryHackMe also gave a suggestion. You can either use Flare VM or Remnex. I think this is their suggestion. The Flare VM is actually a Windows operating system. The Remnex is actually a Linux operating system based on Linux kernel. Flare VM is a Windows based. Yes, that's what I mentioned. And you can see the GitHub page here. The Flare VM is actually offered by Mandiant. So here you can find their official GitHub page. And also if you scroll down, you will see some installation guide to just spin up the VM, the Flare VM. And moving on, the Remnex. So it's a reverse engineering malware for Linux. So this is also a promising distribution to perform the malware analysis tasks. Okay, now I click the start machine task, and the machine will start in a split screen. Okay, that is fine. Uh, all right, so we may also log in the machine by using the following information. That means we can use Remina to log in the machine. All right, I will do that. I will do login the machine, but before that, I also give you an advice apart from this setting up the Flare VM and the Remnux VM, because when you install Flare VM or Remnux VM, it's gonna install the default set of tools inside the VM, so it's gonna take some space, though you are not using it or not. Irrespective of that, it's gonna install all the tools present in that package. But if you know you are going to use a limited set of tools, then it is better to spin up a plain Windows VM or Linux VM, then install the required tools alone on the guest VM. And that is the advised stuff by me, because I've been using that kind of things only. We got a command, how many modules you will complete, sir? Hi sir, are you able to do HTTP lab tutorials? Yes, actually, I have done hack the box tutorials as well. In my previous session, I did some hack the box Sherlock solving. Apart from that, apart from this streaming, whenever I get time, I used to solve some hack the box and try hack me challenges. Thanks for the comment. Okay, now I'm moving on. Let me connect the VM with Remina. Alt F2 to spin up this. And here is the IP 10.48.161.149. Accepting the certificate. Username is administrator. Username is administrator. Then password is lemmein123 exclamation mark. Okay, now if I enlarge, I'm seeing this resolution is quite small, so I can just fix that by pressing toggle dynamic resolution update. Now it fixed. Now I got into the VM. All right, now I established the VM. Now let's start with the string search. What is string search? If you take any binary, if you open it in a text editor, you won't be able to understand many of the things present in that file, because they are actually machine friendly language. They are not human readable. But if you carefully look at that binary, there will be some human readable texts, some ASCIIs, and how to extract those ASCIIs from the binaries. And that is where the string analysis comes in. So whenever you begin any malware analysis, string analysis is a vital part. It can be done by a simple tool called strings. So let me tell you how string search works. A string search looks at the binary data in the malware sample regardless of its file type, identifies the sequence of ASCII or Unicode characters followed by the null characters. Wherever it finds such sequence, it reports that as a string. So they are actually telling how the string utility functions here. What to look for? Since the analyst has an identity actual strings of interest and differentiate them from the garbage, it is good to know what to look for when performing string search. Although a lot of useful information can be unearthed as string research, the following artifacts can be used at a IOC or prove more useful, because sometimes when you do the string search on a binary, you will be able to uncover some URLs, might be a C2 URL, some IP addresses, or some registry hive details, or some sensitive passwords, credentials, API keys. You might find some interesting information. So that is the importance of doing the string research, and that's what they have mentioned here. The basic string search, how you can do, it's quite simple. The utility is called strings followed by the binary along with its path. It is not in the current path. So that is how you should do the string search. Apart from this strings utility, you can use tools like PE Studio. So it is one of the promising static analysis tools available. Um, Here also, if you see and click this strings section, it's gonna list out the strings, and also the beauty of this PE Studio is it's gonna shortlist that particular string based on the blacklisted characters or a phrase, so that you can understand like what kind of file it is, whether it is doing any hazardous things. Then the obfuscated strings. Searching for strings often proves to one of the most effective first steps in malware analysis, as seen in the case of WannaCry. Okay, WannaCry was actually it was a notorious ransomware that was spread across the globe in 2017. So that's what they mentioned. Effective use of string search can often disrupt malware propagation and infection. The malware authors know this and don't want a simple string search to thwart their malware activities. Therefore, they deploy techniques to obfuscate strings in their malware. So, when the security researchers trying to find a clue out of the strings, the malware authors often try to thwart that, right? So that is where they do the string obfuscation. So when they did the string obfuscation on a sample, if you try to do the string assessment on the sample, then you won't be able to see any human readable text in that, because they were already obfuscated. So that's the that is all about the obfuscated thing. And malware authors use several techniques to obfuscate the key parts of their code. These techniques often render a string search ineffective. Mandiant then FireEye launched Floss to solve this problem. Floss is actually an excellent tool. It is actually launched by Mandiant, who is also the author of Flare VM. So the Floss is actually the tool that is used to uncover or deobfuscate the obfuscated strings. So here actually there is a blog post for this as well. That's what they referred here. Automatically extracting obfuscated strings from malware using using Floss. How are they doing it? They are simply giving Floss followed by the malware name, the executable name. Then it is spitting up all the deobfuscated strings. So the usage looks like the usage is quite simple. So this is the basic usage. If you want to exclude static strings from Floss output, then you can add this particular tag, no static strings. Then -q, formatting the output. So here is the usage, the detailed usage of it. Awesome. Cool one to note down. Yes. We can following command to use the Floss to search the obfuscated strings in the binary. No static strings. That means it's gonna search only the obfuscated strings. All right. On the desktop VM in the attached, there is a directory named mal with malware samples 126. Use Floss to identify obfuscated strings found in the samples named 256, which these samples contains dbgview.exe. All right. So let's get into this directory. Come on. Yeah. We opened it. There are 6 malware samples. Can I open a PowerShell maybe? I simply press Windows, or no, it won't work. Can I search for PowerShell? Yes. Let me enlarge this. We already crossed the mark, 20-minute mark, but however, I'm just gonna do this. I don't know why it is taking more time. Maybe because of maybe because of the RDP session slowness. PowerShell, can I get a quick prompt this time? It is still taking time. How about using command prompt? All right, I got the prompt. Properties, font, 8. Maybe I'm just trying to enlarge this. All right. Now I got into this, and here is the directory. So let me move into the directory. PIR. We have the PowerShell session open now. Oh gosh, finally it came. So it's gonna be easy. Navigate. Because PowerShell supports the Linux commands. All right. Now okay, it looks okay. There are 6 files here. So what I'm planning to do, I need to use flaws to identify the obfuscated strings on the samples 2, 5 and 6. Okay, so it's quite simple. Do I have flaws? I do have flaws, and the command is no static strings. No static strings, path to binary 256, I guess, right? 2, 5, 6. Look at this. We got some output. That means this sample, the sample 6, is having some obfuscated strings, and it is eventually uncovering them. dbgview.exe. Do I see any executable in that name? Plus decoded strings, decoded 1 strings. Is it still decoding? I guess it is still decoding, but since remaining 2 files didn't give anything, yeah, look at this. I think it gave the results, dbgview.exe. So it was the sample 6. Yeah, correct. Now fingerprinting the malware. Okay, let's try to finish it soon. When analyzing the malware, it is often required to identify unique malware and differentiate them from each other. File names can't be used for this purpose as they can be duplicated easily. They might be confusing also. The file name can also be changing easily. Hence, the hash function is used to identify the malware sample uniquely. Hashing is quite important. It is actually inevitable in malware world. In malware analysts or the security researchers, they often use malware hashes. Even malware authors try to use malware hashes to identify a particular sample, because the hashes won't change. Even if there is a small modification on the malware sample, the hashes will change. And that's what leads all of them, the malware researchers, malware authors, everyone towards hashes. And that's what they say. Hashing functions take the file and data of arbitrary length, and it does some complex mathematics, then create a standard hash with standard length. And the hash is actually constant if the file is constant. The file is altered, the hash is gonna change. And that's the thing, that's the beauty of using hashing. And that's what they mentioned. Besides identifying files, hashes are also used to store passwords and authenticate users. In malware analysis, hash files can be used to identify unique malware. Search for this malware to identify different repository databases and indicators of compromise. All right. And here you can see the commonly used hashing techniques. MD5, SHA-1, SHA-256. So these are all the common hashing techniques. And in Linux, everyone will be having that utility. If you want to find a hash of a particular file, then you can simply give a command SHA-256 sum, then the particular file name to find the uh, hash of a file. Okay, so that is how you should be calculating the hash. Hello, XCA, the username. Although a collision, okay, the first two types of hashes are now considered insecure because they are actually lesser in length. That's why they say it is not secure enough, prone to collision attack. Therefore, 256 sum is currently considered the most secure method of calculating the file hash. All right. Finding similar files using hashes. There is another hash type is called imp hash. Let's see what it is. The imp hash stands for import hash, and you can find the imp hash here in the PE Studio. If you click the file name here in this place, you can find the imp hash. Imports are functions that an executable file imports from other files or dynamic DLLs. I think this is an advanced stuff. So when I'm opening a malware file on a PE Studio, I will try to explain what is import and all these things. What about Windows? In Windows also you can calculate the hash value by using the PowerShell utility get file hash. There is the PowerShell commandlet get file hash. You can use that utility to calculate the hash of any file on Windows. The imp hash is fine. The imp hash is hash of the function calls libraries that the malware sample imports and orders which these libraries are present in the sample. This helps identifying the samples from the same thread group and performing the similar activity. More details are in the okay. Actually, they tried explaining cert util. I'm not positive. I haven't done that before, but I'm not sure. I haven't done that to calculate the hashes. The cert util. I usually use get file hash to calculate the hashes. This helps identify samples from the same thread group performing the imp hash blocks. Okay. So they just mentioned about the imp hash, and here is a beautiful part. If you are starting the malware analysis, then there is a repository, a promising repository that will hold almost every malware sample in the under the sun. So you can see I'm just exaggerating, but this is actually a promising repository. That's what I meant. The malware bazaar, and that's the repository is known as, and here is the URL bazaar.abuse.ch, and you can start browse for a malware by using its hash or by using its name or by using its type, the tags, or from the reporter name or a signature. So it gives you the various searching options. So you can search for a particular sample, you can pick them, and you can start assessing them in a protected sandbox environment. Fuzzy hashes or SSD. Another way to identify similar malware is through fuzzy hashes. A fuzzy hash is context triggered piecewise hash. I'm not positive what it is, but this hash is calculated by dividing a file into pieces and calculating the hashes of different pieces. These methods create multiple inputs with similar sequences of bytes, even though the whole file might be different. Okay, I think they are telling about calculating the SSD hash. So this is actually an utility to calculate the SSD hash. SSD is also a hash type, I guess. Let's calculate the hashes of all the samples in the mal directory in the attached VM. So here they actually tried simply to calculate the SSD hash of all the samples present in the MIL directory. Then here what they did, finding matching files with SSD. They are searching SSD-L RD incoming, outgoing, trash. I guess they are trying to do some string search. Let's see. We can try the other obvious. We have to SSD basher. We can match these hashes together the family. This help us to identify the files of bulk data. The documentation link provided above the very good examples of use. -D -R operator that runs SSD utility recursively. L operator outputs the relative paths of the files. The result shows the files match each other. The number in the bracket at the end, the percentage matching among these files. So I think this particular number is actually within the bracket is actually denotes the percentage. The matches of the string. I think they are doing some string search here within the directory. Okay. In the samples located in the desktop mal directory in the attached VM, which of the samples has the same imp hash as file 3? To calculate the imp hash, how can I do that? Here they calculated by using the PE Studio. Do I need to load every file in imp hash? So here is a Python program to calculate the imp hash. I think let me take this one. PE imp hash .py. I paste this. So we can just give this file as an argument. It's gonna give us the imp hash. Come on, Python 3 imp hash. I think I should be giving file name here. Okay, I go to the VM. Do I have any utility to calculate this? Otherwise, start the PE Studio. I load the malware inside the PE Studio. I should go to desktop, mal directory, the sample 3. I'm just loading a sample 3 first, and here the imp hash is given here. It starts with F397 copy value. So let me add it somewhere. Maybe I'll put it here. Can I paste? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now if I go and load the other samples, F397831B, the first sample ends with 2603. Yes, I think the first sample is also having the same imp hash. Yeah, that's correct. Using SSDeep utility, what is the percentage match of the above mentioned files? How can I find that. Maybe can I use the same stuff? ssdeep -lrd. Let's see. ssdeep. Do I have the utility first? Yeah, here is the utility ssdeep. ssdeep.exe malware directory -l-r-d. Okay, I think I need to choose a file name -l-r-d.
The silhouettes burning, embers rising high, like a chemical fire. The flame
We need to search for a specific string, right? Is it asking us to search for the same string? What is the percentage match for the above mentioned files? Incoming, outgoing, trash. Okay, let me do it in the same way. Come on. Maybe can I do like this? I think I should not be mentioning. Okay, I should go to mal directory, or I think they did it from
barely scratching the surface.
desktop.
This obsession of mine,
I go here. Come on. I don't understand this part. I need to give one more read. Using the SSD utility, what is the percentage match of the above mentioned files? Because the imp hash is actually matching between 3 and 1, right? So I guess they are let's see. Outgoing corporate espionage our budget.docs matches incoming budget 2007.dog. Personal matches this one. Incoming, outgoing. Oh, come on. I think I should be giving like this. It's my bad. Yeah, like this. Gosh. 3 1, I guess. 93. Yes. So I was wrong. I should do like this. ssdeep -l and r for the recursive and d for operator, some d operator, r operator to run the recursively, l operator output leaves the path of the files. Okay, I think 93 is the percentage, because these two files matches 93%. So that is what the concept of ssdeep assessment. Okay, I just answered it. We solved half of the challenge. At this stage, I almost reached the 40-minute mark. So I'm going to stop this recording. It's going to be a part 1. So I'm going to resume part 2 maybe in another recording. So until then, I'm signing off. Cheers. Okay, now I stopped the first part. I need to start doing the second part. How I can do that? Maybe I can start doing the second part now itself. Let me have some water. Okay. Mm, yeah, I'll hit the start recording button now. Hello everyone, my name is Permal Jagan and we are doing the static analysis of uh, malware. So we are actually in the middle of solving try hack me walkthrough room, and I'm going to continue this part. Going to continue the same thing in this part. So it's going to be part 2. So let's, without further ado, let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so we have solved around 4 tasks before. Now this one is the second task, the second part. So in this we are going to learn some signature based detection. So let's learn this. In the previous task, actually we learned about the file hashing and the string identification, string deobfuscation by using flaws. So we have learned all those things, but now we are going to learn about the signatures. So how we can how the signature is going to help us to identify a malware. So that's what we are going to learn. So let's see. Signatures are a way to identify if a particular file has a particular type of content. We can consider a signature as a pattern that might be found inside a file. This pattern is often a sequence of bytes in a file with or without any context regarding where it is found. Security researchers often use signatures to identify a pattern in a file, identify if it is a malicious or if it possesses any suspicious behavior. So it is all about picking a particular pattern from a file and trying to match that pattern with the existing signatures that is loaded on a security control or a machine or an endpoint. So that is the concept of matching the signatures. Then the next one is the YARA rule. YARA rules are quite important in malware detection because these are the familiar rules. I mean, the YARA rule is quite familiar in the malware fraternity, malware analyst fraternity. YARA rules are type of signature rules based on, it is famously called a pattern matching Swiss Army knife for malware researchers. YARA can identify information based on binary and textual patterns such as hexadecimal and strings contained within the file. TryHackMe actually, they actually offer a dedicated room for this, but I guess it is good to continue this one. Maybe later in another stream we can do this YARA stuff. The security community publishes a repository of open source. So here is an open source YARA rules repository. I guess it is holding some predefined YARA rules that you can you can grab those YARA rules and deploy in your security solution. All right. Proprietary signatures. Besides the open source signature, antivirus companies spend a lot of resources to create proprietary signatures. The advantage of this proprietary signature is since they have to sold commercially, there are lesser chances for false positives. These YARA signatures and all are open source stuff, but when you go with an antivirus purchase, they will be offering you a set of signatures. In fact, they will be providing you a periodic signature update, so it will be little more promising rather than using than the open source signatures. AV scanning helps identify if a file is malicious with high confidence. Antivirus software will often mention the signature that the file has hit, which might hint at a file's functionality. However, we must note that despite their best effort, every AV product in the market has some FPs and some FNs, false positives and false negatives, I guess. Therefore, when analyzing malware, it is prudent to get a verdict from multiple products. VirusTotal website makes this task easier for us. So let me open VirusTotal as well. As you are all beginners, I mean, I'm just considering it. The stream is for a beginner perspective. So here is the VirusTotal tool. If you search for any particular file in this VirusTotal, you will be able to see the set of security vendors and their verdict. like whether they flagged the particular file as a normal one or malicious one. So you will be getting the result in this single platform. So that's the beauty of this virus total. And please remember, if you are analyzing a sensitive file, it is best practice to search for its hash on VirusTotal and other scanning websites instead of uploading the file itself. Yes, so when you are doing the malware analysis on a secret or your client environment, you need to maintain some privacy, some best practices, you need to avoid the leaking the information from your client environment. So in that case, what you can do, you can just take the hash of a particular file and you can try to do some hash based search on the internet, because if the file is already exist on the internet, you will see the results. That's what they mean. Okay, now let's move on. I'll tell you about another tool called Kappa. Kappa is another open source tool created by Mandiant. The tool helps identify the capabilities found inside a PE file. Kappa reads files and tries to identify the behavior of the file based on signatures such as imports, strings, mutexes, and other artifacts present in the file. I'll tell you what is the import and mutex in the upcoming session, but if you, I mean, we already read what is the strings, the term strings in a binary. For further detail in the background of Kappa, we can visit the GitHub page or the blog post. All right. Now, if you just open a directory where you find your malware, you can simply use Kappa followed by the malware name. It's gonna bring the list of capabilities to identify the capabilities of a binary. It's gonna predict the capabilities of the binary. So let's use it against a sample. Here they have used, actually they have used it against a sample called one, right? So why don't we do the same? We are already in the page and I'm simply calling Kappa and calling the binary name against it. Now it's gonna find, or it's gonna predict the behavior of the malware, and it is taking some time because it is scanning the whole executable file to predict the behavior. Let's wait for a while. You can see how long it takes. Gosh. So once the analysis is done, it's gonna give you the result. You will wait for the result. So the result will look like this. See, it actually dumps the hash value from the MyTray framework. It actually lists the tactics and also the techniques: defense evasion, discovery, execution, and there are some techniques as well beneath every tactic. And MBC objective, I'm not sure what is MBC, the term, but anti-static analysis, cryptography, I think some anti-analysis features present in the binary. Anti-static analysis, cryptography, file system. Okay. And the capability, if you see, it has some obfuscated string, encrypt data using RC4, the encryption scheme. It has the PDB path. PDB is actually, I think, let's see what it is. PDB in malware analysis. program database. Crucial because fully contain the debugging symbols embedded in the executable. Okay, so the file actually stores the debugging symbols and contains the resource section, accepting the command line argument or not, console, delete file, read file, write file, host name. Uh, it actually enumerates the host name, looks like. Enumerates the GUI resources. Yeah, so these are all the capabilities possessed by the binary. That's what they meant. And looks like it is still running. Oh, come on. The MBC, here is the expansion. Malware behavior catalog. If I open this, anti-behavioral analysis, anti-static analysis, execution. Okay, so here are the mitrate tactic, and under a tactic I think there will be lot of techniques. So this is what they call as MBC. Yes, malware behavioral catalog. All right, awesome. So let's see. As we might see, it also tells us if there are obfuscated strings in the sample, allowing us to identify if running flaws against the sample might be helpful. To find out more information about sample, we can use -v or VBR operator for the verbosity. So let's now use kappa against file 4 and answer the following questions. Okay, I think I will just abort this against 4. So let me run against 4. Is it gonna take more time? Not positive. Let's wait. How many matches of the anti-VM execution techniques were identified in the sample? So I need to wait for it to finish before answering these questions. So till now, we have never executed this file. We are using certain tools trying to assess the files or trying to predict the file's behavior just without executing it. So these details could not be always true or need not to be true always. This is just a prediction. So it might go wrong. Okay. But it will give you an insight. So that's quite important before you start doing or stepping into advanced analysis part. But I don't know what I'm up against. Come on, it's taking a lot of time. Kappa. Can I see kappa? Kappa.exe. Is there a file? Yes, kappa.exe is detected, and I'm trying it against 4, the sample. Now it is also analyzing, so I am analyzing the sample in different windows. I guess doing it from the command prompt works. Some issue, it is not giving us the results. Let's wait, and you can see what's happening. I think next one can be solved by using the PE Studio, but for now I'm using kappa. Come on, it's taking longer than expected. Oh my god, it's stuck. Can I move to the next one? So I let this to finish, but before that, let's go and solve the remaining things. Leveraging the PE header. So you need to know what is PE. PE is actually the format called portable executable. In Windows, every executable file is actually based on this PE header. I mean the PE, the portable executable format. So that's the PE header is all about. So let's see what it is. The program that we run generally stored in the executable file format. These files are portable because they can be taken to any system with the same operating system and dependencies. They will perform the same task on that system. Therefore, these files are called portable executable files. The same file accessible, executable across the same operating systems. It hung, looks like it hung. The PE file consists of sequence of bits stored in the disk. The sequence is specific format. The initial bits define the characteristics of PE files. The initial part of PE file is called PE header. Several tools in the Flare VM can help us to analyze the PE header. PE Studio is one of them. We already familiarize ourselves with PE. Okay, we are going to use PE Studio to assess the PE headers. And there is a separate room on TryHackMe that talks about these PE headers alone. And you can see every PE header and what is the purpose of each header. Linked libraries, imports and functions. Oh, come on. It's still hung. I think. All right. Now we got the response. So we can start answering the questions. But before that, let's finish it. Linked libraries, imports and functions. A PE file does not contain all of its code to perform all the tasks. It often reuses code from libraries, often previously provided by Microsoft. So the functions from these libraries are imported by a PE file. So basically, an executable file pulls or grabs or imports some of the functionalities from other files. So sometimes from a DLL file, sometimes from other executable files. I think that's what they meant here. If you see in the PE header, when you click library, you will see the list of libraries. So all these libraries provide some functionalities to our executable. Okay, that's what this library section. And the function option is just below, shows the functions imported from these libraries. So every library given here will hold bunch of functions. So out of all those functions, this binary might require very few functions or one or two. So this particular functions tab lists all the functions that are imported and also its respective library. And you can see the blacklisted functions here, and that's the importance, or that's the advantage of using PE Studio. It's gonna highlight some suspicious or blacklisted function details. So these are the function details typically used in a malware. So that's why they highlighted it. Identifying packed executables, as we have seen. So okay, packaging is actually a different topic altogether. To obfuscate or to hide the whole executable code, the malware authors often try to pack or bundle the malware by using a tool, a packager they call, and they package it and they try to distribute the malware to the systems, to their victims. So when they try to access the file, they won't be able to understand anything because the file is packed. So while packing, it won't alter its behavior, the behavior of the malware. However, it will simply try to obfuscate, try to hide the actual functionality or the actual source code of the executable. I think that's the gist of using packing. Okay, so that's what I think, that's what they tried explaining through this paragraph. The dissecting PE headers is a room that I think I will be doing it maybe in our upcoming videos or streams, but for now, let's try to answer these questions. Open the sample, the malware number 4 in PE Studio. Which library is blacklisted? Okay, let's do that. Come on, I'll go here, and I already loaded it in the PE Studio, I guess. Maybe let me go and exit PE Studio and do it again. PE Studio, malware number 4. Here it is. Opening this, and now if I go and try to answer which library is blacklisted, I go to, I think it is still parsing the data, so that is why it is in the wait state, so we need to wait for a while. Yes, now it came, the libraries, and you can see the blacklisted library, just only one, RPC RT4.dll, RPC RT4.dll, and that's the answer. And what does this will do? And I think there is a definition, there is a description. Remote procedure call runtime. So let me copy this line and just put it here. I guess we will type it. Remote procedure call runtime. That's the answer. RPC call. Okay, moving on to the previous section. Signature based detection. So let me scroll down. I already got the outcome here. I go to the top. And what's the question? How many matches for anti-VM execution techniques were identified in this app? Anti-VM execution. Let's see. What is the question? Anti-VM execution techniques were identified. Let's scroll down. Execute anti-VM instructions. 86 matches. So this should be the answer. Does the sample have the capability to suspend or resume thread? Capability, suspend or resume thread. Let's read through this. Get thread local storage value, TLS value they call. Create terminate process, create thread, resume thread, 2 matches. So looks like yes. What MBC behavior is observed against MBC objective anti-static analysis? Scrolling up, anti-static analysis. So against it, disassembler evasion, argument obfuscation, and that's the answer. At what address is the function that has capability check HTTP status code? Are they asking address? At what address the function that has capability check HTTP status code? So they are talking about capability, right? Check HTTP status code. and looks like this one, or at what address? So let me get the hint. Using PowerShell will help to cut on. I get the hint. What is the address of the function that has capability? Check HTTPS status code. Did I close? Did I close the session? I guess I did close it. I don't know what's the hint. I think if I answer this question, this ends. What address in the function that has capability check HTTP status code? Lost connection. Okay, I think I need to reset this. Maybe I will try to do it. I guess it's going to take some time, so I'm going to stop this recording here. Maybe I will continue this in the next stuff because it is almost done. Just one question. My session is lost. Otherwise, I would have answered it. Anyway, I'm going to hit the conclusion button and going to end this particular recording. Okay, I guess I would rate this very high. I learned some things from this. So just one question to answer remaining. I mean, just one answer is remaining. So I'm going to do this separately. All right. Yes. So we did learn some static analysis, some basic static analysis. We did use strings utility, flaws, kappa to answer some of these questions. So all these things are basic. So at the initial stage of a malware analysis investigation, you will be using these tools. Okay, so that is what we call it as a basic static analysis. That is why we call it as basic static analysis. All right, I'll stop this here. Hopefully we will be able to catch up in our next video, maybe in advanced static analysis. Until then, I'm signing off. Cheers, and I love you all. Thank you so much. Okay, I stopped the recording. Maybe over this stream I will try to answer that remaining question. It's not going to be a big deal, I guess. Let's see. Am I connected to a VPN? Yes, I have. I go and start this mission again. It's going to take a minute. Start. Just trying to reboot the machine. I'm not even able to see the hint for this.
But
I have started this machine again. Now it is actually being started. I got the hint here. I need to run the kappa again against the malware sample 4. I need to use -v or -w for the verbosity to see the additional details. I guess this is what gonna give us the address details of the function. Yeah, that has the capability check HTTPS code. All right, it's being started. I yet to get the IP address, so let's see. I got the IP address, and here it is. Can I connect it right now? Alt F2, Remina. Can I connect this? Yes, awesome. Administrator, let me in 123 exclamation mark. I don't know how to avoid these spam messages, so maybe I should find a way to block them. I always get this spam message when I start streaming. I need to stop this somehow. Okay, I got this, so let me open this command prompt. Using PowerShell will help avoiding cutting off the output. Okay, I think they are recommending to use the PowerShell, but if I use PowerShell, it is hanging at some point. Windows PowerShell. Let me enlarge this text. Come on. Oh gosh. Command prompt. I don't know, for some reasons the PowerShell is not working properly. All right. Okay. Kappa. Kappa.exe. Do we have the file? Yes, we do. -vv for the double verbosity, using it against the file 4. It says it is analyzing the program. I don't know how long it is gonna take. Okay, I got this one as well. Desktop, mal, and now kappa.exe -vv against the malware sample 4. Just gonna give us the quick output. It's quite slow. It's literally slow since I'm using it over the RDP. It's taking its time. I don't think this will be the case when I'm doing it on my local VM. But anyway, we are learning the command, right? So to inspect the capabilities of a binary by using kappa. That is very important. That's the lesson we are learning. Let's wait for it to finish. Yeah, now it started, and this one. Oh gosh, it's not at all working on PowerShell. Just momentarily I'm recording just to fill the blanks. Hey, this is Perumal again from the future. Now actually we actually need to answer one more question. What is the address of the function that has the capability to check the HTTP status code? And here is the hint. So we actually used kappa already, but we did not use the verbosity. This time when we use -v or -v, it is possible to grab more information. I guess that's gonna answer our question. Now it is running. It's almost done. I'm gonna wait for it to finish. So once it is done, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna take the answer and put it here. So that's what I wanted to mention. Now it is done. I think it is worth to show this on the stream. Look at this. Every particular capability and its detail. Look at the detailing here. So based on the detail only, it actually predicted every capability. So now we need to look for check HTTP status code. I guess, oh gosh, I think the string is analyzing. So they already recommended using PowerShell, but since I'm using command prompt, I guess it cut off. Can I just try to enlarge this command history? So I can only do 3 digits maximum. Yeah, only 3 digits maximum. I guess if I need to answer. Oh, now it is happening on PowerShell. Awesome. how I managed to grab the results on PowerShell window. I think it is worth showcasing. Can I maybe change the color of the background? I guess it's gonna help us. Where to change the color? Screen background. How about using a black? Black is not working well. Colors. I use. Okay. I don't like this one as well. How about using white? Okay, very bad. It's hiding all the text. Okay, I'll just put it in. I'll put it back to the same previously available color. Okay, now I think it is worth to showcase this. Here, if you see any method or any capability, under that there are plenty of details. So based on these details only, the kappa identified its capability. So I'm gonna go and search for the capability of check HTTP status code. So if I'm able to see the check HTTP status code, then I think from the associated details I'll be able to get answer. Come on, where it is? Check HTTP status code. Come on, it's a little difficult to find the place. I'm rerunning it on the Windows command. I'm rerunning it on the command prompt without the -v, just to find the place where that check HTTP status is there, so that by using these details I can directly scroll to that spot. I really hate doing this on a remote machine. It's taking a lot of time and a lot of effort. Searching on PowerShell window. How to search on the PowerShell window. Find. Okay, let me search for this HTTP status code. Session is dead. Before I answering this question, I'm facing a lot of issues.
24/7 denk ich immer noch an dich. Heute bist du nicht mehr da, jetzt ist das Rampenlicht.
I lost the RDP session.
Farben hab ich nun in meinem Gesicht. Farbe in der Haut, ja diesen Schmerz, den hab nur ich. I think we are different. Our love was so magnificent.
Okay, connected. Now I will start searching this string status code, right? Yes, check HTTP status code. Yes, here is the capability, and I need to find the address. So this is the address, I guess. And let's see. Let's go and answer that question. And that's correct answer. So we successfully solved this challenge. Yeah, I think on this stream we were able to finish the static analysis. I hope I'll be able to make more streams on advanced static analysis, dynamic analysis, and some debugging as well. Maybe we will do that in a separate stream. I'm streaming for almost 2 hours now, so I'm going to stop this stream here. I'll come back probably on Friday, coming Friday. I won't be streaming for next 4 days because I'm actually having a day work, so I'll be working. So in Friday, I guess I'll be doing early morning my time before I start doing my day job. Okay, so that's the plan. Hopefully I'll be able to schedule and do these streams in more organized way. I'm signing off. Okay, until then, yeah, cheers, and I love you all.